Hey, hey.
Hello.
How you doing on this gray day?
There you go.
Oh, thank you.
I had a massive migraine.
Oh.
And then threw up the entire night, and I think I'm good.
No, really?
One experience is good enough for a lifetime.
Oh, crap, dude. That's not cool.
Yeah.
That I've never heard of that happening before. Never. Like that's
my brain's wired wrong, so.
Yeah, a lot of them. God, look at them mountains.
Good, right?
Covered with the smoke. The smoke. Hey, you know, I was thinking I got a topic of conversation today. I was wondering, with all this, you know, government shutdown and everything that's going on and all that kind of bullshit, but not really getting political about this. I'm just looking at like a different angle at it. Do you think it'd be a better opportunity now in lieu of everything that's going on and how you know, everybody's relying on the federal government for, let's just focus on SNAP benefits, you know, food stamps. Don't you think that they should make a push towards making that more of a state thing instead of a federal thing, so that we, you know, the whole country isn't held captive by one organization?
States are supposed to take care of themselves anyway. That's how it was supposed to be. That's why we have states.
Right.
And the government was supposed to be deal with the other countries and wars and stuff. Like, we're supposed to all be separate but come together when it's necessary for defense.
Right. So it sounds like
food stamps should be for people who literally cannot work.
Mm-hmm.
Like my mom got surgery, food stamps. Some guy down the road lost his leg in war or on an accident, food stamps. Obviously he can't work with one leg.
Right. Right.
But if you're fully able-bodied, you should go to work.
Well, fully able-bodied and being able to produce, you know, enough for your family, you know, can be quite difficult sometimes, you know, depending upon like.
Don't have 9 kids.
Well, I guess, but isn't that one of the points of being human, is to propagate? No, that's not.
Humans have a higher intellect than most animals.
Right.
Therefore, we know our population limits, and our population is all over the fucking planet. Therefore, we don't need to populate as much. And I believe in selective breeding.
Okay.
I would not have given birth to me.
So you said we know our population limits?
Well, our food waste, so the amount of food that we produce and that's wasted is enough to probably feed double what we have now.
Could be,
but it's all wasted and thrown away, so
there is a lot of waste.
We're pretty much just trashing, you know, where we live.
Yeah, I mean, we're not, you know, to most people, whether it's food or time or whatever it is, there can be waste in just about anything, obviously.
We have more houses and apartments than we have people to put in them.
I don't know about that.
Well, people aren't in them.
Yeah. I mean, you've got other influencing factors on that too. Like, again, getting back to the finances of it, you know, even though there might be apartments that may be so highly priced, you know, and not applicable to, you know, everyone's situation, being out of town or a long drive, or, you know, I mean, there's a lot of variables in there. But don't you think that, you know, the states should really take control of this situation and be like, all right, look, we're going to adopt our own programs, this and that. Maybe, you know, I'm not sure where the money comes from for the federal food stamps, I guess from our taxes, but let's lower down the taxes on that end. And some people might not be happy about, you know, paying a state tax, but, you know, if that state tax is going more towards the same things you're paying on anyways on a federal level, what does it really matter? You know, you're going to pay it out either way, whether it's to the feds or your state. It's going to go to the program, but putting the states in control and them knowing the needs for their own people, I think, is a lot more important than all the states relying on the government for funding for, you know, something that affects everybody.
My point of view on population is a lot darker than other people's.
Yeah, darker.
Well, yeah. It's pretty fucked.
I think that disease and stuff like that is in place. I think that's one of the population control factors that just naturally occurs. And of course, you have wars and other things, or famine, or, you know, things like that. I think there's a lot of factors that are involved there.
I think people just don't want to work. Everyone's depressed.
Yeah, a lot of people don't want to work. I get that. Why do you think everybody's so depressed nowadays? Do you think it's a difference from 10 years ago or 20 years ago that wasn't really the case?
All the chemicals and stuff in their systems, all the easy access to everything.
So
Not much to like really work towards that goal.
Right. Motivation. So you think it's a lot of chemicals and problems that have created more of a depression in society?
Well, in the U.S., yeah. And we're speaking just the U.S.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Our portion size are like tripled. The sugar content we eat is tripled. Like a lot of the stuff that we have like in the meats and eggs is considered poison to other countries.
Right.
Some of them won't buy anything from the U.S.
Right.
They will not feed it to their own people.
Right. Well, even that was, you know, publicized and gone over many times, especially most recently, where they were even talking about, there's this lady called, I think she's called the Food Babe or something, and she's got some pretty good knowledge. They brought her into some, I think, congressional hearings and things like that, where she was pointing out too the same thing you just said. You know, we've got places, we've got manufacturers in the United States who are like Fruit Loops, for instance. You know, they're producing 2 different kinds of Fruit Loops because, like you said, overseas they won't buy the crap that they sell to Americans. But yet we're poisoning our own people and sending good shit across the ocean, which is, you know, obviously just capitalism, because we know that they're using crap ingredients, making cheap food and making a higher profit on it, but killing the people at the same time, or at least, you know, maybe not killing them, but adding to difficulties in health and regulation. That's not right. I think that's a crime against humanity, personally.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I mean, it's almost like, the way I thought about it once before was like, you know, you're providing a product to millions, maybe billions of people that you know has problems with it. That's almost like terrorism. You know, you're targeting a large population and making them sick or ill, or I see that as kind of like food terrorism. I know. Capitalism rules.
We're here for the dollar sign, not for the people.
Yep. Yep.
And people here are raised for themselves. They are not raised for the community.
Very much. What do you think in society and culture has added to that, where it seems like there's more, it's all, you know, individualistic now instead of...
Racism and religion and political stances. There's what mostly divides people.
Yeah.
And then after that, you just have like money issues. Shopping households tend to have higher abuse issues.
What the heck is this guy doing? Sorry about that.
Even if it's not physical, it's still emotional and mental.
I see that too, especially, you know, splitting people. Of course, like, I had a conversation with another rider yesterday, an older gentleman who was in the National Guard and stuff, and he was even talking about, you know, we got to get rid of, you know, Republicans and Democrats and, you know, this side and that side. It's about the people, you know, us. And I'm like, yeah, dude, exactly. And I think that's the only way we're gonna get out of this vicious cycle that, you know, big money has got us into, so that they can control everything pretty much. La Revolution!
Animals are more for the better of the population. Will breed with the healthier ones, brighter colored ones, so the next generation can make it better. Humans aren't like that.
It sounds kind of, I wouldn't put the whole category in there, but
I'm not saying the whole category. I'm just saying, like, people are just messes. We're messes everywhere we go.
destructive.
Get rid of politics and left and right. It'll go back to skin tone or gender, or oh hey, my pants are straighter iron than yours. I literally went to a school in the South where they made everyone wear uniforms, every school, to help with bullying or whatever. And it came down to how white your shoelaces were, and if you ironed your pants and had a straight enough crease or not. Yes, they would find anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's typical. People will, if they're especially in that kind of mind frame, you know, the Karen mind frame, they're going to find some particular, they're going to bitch about something, even if it's insignificant, you know, and things like that. And we were talking about, you know, school uniforms and stuff regarding children, and of course, in their development stage that they're in and things like that, they're still sorting the world out. And a lot of us are at a certain level of that as a child, as we're learning, until we get to be, you know, of a better awareness where it's like, oh wait, it really doesn't matter about all these things. We're still the same underneath. But
people don't come to that realization though.
It's true. You think TV and media and all that has the major influence on, you know, individuals who are looking that way because they see on TV and the actors and the characters and the nice how they're wearing and, you know, and how they're being portrayed and stuff like that, almost like they're adapting it to the real world scenario. I think there's a lot there. I think there's a lot of influence, and that's why, you know, there's advertising, marketing, this and that, but influential things, just like back in the day when they were trying to ixnay and they criminalized hemp. You know, it was a smear campaign. All they did was basically, what was his name? The newspaper guy, you know, who had owned a conglomerate of newspapers. He was the same guy who helped to fund the Reefer Madness movie from back in the day, which is hilarious. And he was trying to protect his assets because hemp was a threat to all of his old forests that he was going to cut down and use for paper instead of, you know, he didn't want hemp to be around, number one. He probably had some prejudices, some biases, number two, but that whole smear campaign, you know, earlier on in the 30s, that was run just by advertising and marketing through media, and it influenced people in a certain way and swayed the nation. I think the same way. You know, what we wear, what we do, how we say, how we talk, how we act. I think a lot of that, too, is based on our outside experiences, whether that's TV or face-to-face or out in society or whatever.
Yeah.
But you can always relearn. The problem is becoming aware of it all, you know, to begin with. Breaking out of that mold that you may have been put in, you may have put yourself in. At least I think so. People can change, you know, it's obvious. Whether they want to change or not.
Yeah. People are people, and everyone's different. Everyone will be whoever they want to be. And even if you take away all these outside forces and look at people who don't have the same ease of access to technology or books or other diverse groups, you will still find the dumbest of things for one person to be better than the others.
Yeah.
Whether it's like how much money you put on your face compared to someone else, or I don't know. I think I heard once over in Europe they had cock socks, like way back, like in the Victorian days, where they
Cock socks?
Yeah, like little sockies in front of their pants, and like whoever had, like they would keep making them bigger and longer. It was it was nuts.
Well, if you think about it, remember like the wigs back during
the wigs too.
Wigs were a thing.
How big your wig is.
Yep. Or even dresses, like those big dresses they'd wear and all that, status symbols. It's funny.
'Tis the season.
Influences, all about influences on the outside.
Which is dumb because we all bleed and die.
Yep, this is true. Nobody makes it out of life alive.
Nope.
Well, there's Sue. Have a great day. Make some good money.
I keep forgetting today's not Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I get paid on Wednesday.
I got a GI appointment tomorrow, I think early in the morning. I don't know if I'm going to be around. Well, You get a ride in the daytime?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Well, no, I don't work tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's...
This week's throwing me off.
Yeah, I don't know. My whole schedule's weird.
All right.
I'm like scheduled by myself today, so...
Oh boy, fun. We'll make that money and I'll catch you later.
Good night.
Shoot me a text.